Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning is on the largest entertainment destination in the Midwest. I'm talking about Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. And Potawatomi has been in business since 1991, and their unique purpose is to not only entertain their guests, but also create opportunity for the Forest County Potawatomi tribe, their team members, and the community. My first guest is Ryan Amundson. He's the External Communications Manager for Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. How are you, Ryan?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you.
Always good to see you.
Good to see you too.
And Potawatomi actually attracts more than 6 million visitors annually. That's a lot of people to think about.
A lot of people.
But those numbers actually show the growth in the establishment, and with that growth has come a greater commitment to the community.
Yeah, I think the Forest County Potawatomi this community has been so good to the tribe and to the casino, and giving back is extremely important to us. And you know, we just kicked off our big Heart of Canal Street campaign this week, so we're very pleased with that. It's our biggest charitable initiative of the year, and we're getting that rolling, and we'll be doing this into December.
Yes, and we're going to talk all about that because it is that time of year to actually raise funds for your signature charity event. As you just said, Heart of Canal Street. Tell us a little bit more about it and how it got established.
Sure. It's our signature community program, and what it is we raise money through our bingo sessions. Each and every bingo session, people can play the Canal Street bingo game. It's either $3 or $7, and half of the money goes into the pot for the winner of that game, and the other half goes into our fundraising pot, which goes to 31 very worthy charities that benefit children throughout southeastern Wisconsin.
Yes, and since 1994, Heart of Canal Street has raised nearly $16 million. That's a lot of money.
It's hard to wrap your arms around how much that is, but you know, it's gone to such a diverse base of charities throughout the region. You know, charities that put food on kids' tables, charities that put roofs over their heads, charities that put clothes on them to keep them warm, charities that put books in their hand, that you know, help them with their education, after school programs, just a wide swath of charities that benefit from Heart of Canal Street.
And that's what makes it all so special, and I always call it a win-win scenario, especially when you're talking about gaming, because you've got your bingoers who, is that a word, bingoers?
I think you just made it up.
Right?
We'll
You've got your bingo players who actually walk away with half the pot and then the other half going to Heart of Canal Street. And what's really special is that this goes on now through December.
Yeah, this is a fun way to raise money for charities. I mean, you can win a boatload of cash while you're doing some really nice things for kids in our community. So yeah, it's our bingo players have been so generous over the years, and to think about $16 million. Last year alone, we raised over $1 million, and we're able to give to a different batch of 31 charities. Each of them walked away with about $30,000. So for many of them, this is a budget-changing experience for their year.
You better believe it. And you did mention the 31 children's charities from southeastern Wisconsin, but there are 10 signature charities that have 10 media sponsors. Let's talk about those.
Sure, yeah, we've got, every year we have media sponsors who are so generous to us, give us promotional time, run ads for us to get the word out, so we can raise this hopefully $1 million every year. And we give them the opportunity to choose a charity of their choice each and every year, and we've got, again, we think they've done a wonderful job choosing those charities this year. Everything from the Humane Society, Pearls for Teen Girls, Northcott Neighborhood House, which you'll be talking to Mac in just a little while. Charities that are doing unbelievable things in our community and making our community better.
Yeah, and many of them have been doing it for many, many years, and the fact that Potawatomi is willing to step in and help them continue to do what they're doing and to really enhance some of their programming and services really says a lot. Focusing on some of these charities, as you mentioned, there's Northcott Neighborhood House and Milwaukee Radio Group, which I happen to work for that company as well. That includes Jammin' 98.3, WKLH, and The Hog, and a couple other stations. We are actually sponsoring Northcott Neighborhood House. And then there is the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee. Their media partner is Lamar Outdoor. Then Milwaukee Public Museum. you had onmilwaukee.com to choose them. Sharp Literacy is sponsored by Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel.
Yeah, I hope you're not quizzing me on this because I couldn't tell you who's
And then there's the Pearls for Teen Girls. I know you deal with a lot of stuff. So yeah, the great thing is that all of these organizations that I just mentioned have been featured on this show. So hopefully our viewers know of all the great things that they do to make a difference in the lives of children and their families every day. So I'm proud to say that Potawatomi also does something super major where the first $100,000 goes to your chosen signature.
We did, last year we not only changed our name from Miracle on Canal Street to Heart of Canal Street last year. Many of your viewers will probably remember that. But we also decided to implement our charity of choice. And you know, for 20 some odd years, we've had our media partners choose charities. We've done a random drawing of charities, and we thought, you know what, we've done this for so long. I think we should choose a charity this year, and we did that last year. The Milwaukee Area Workforce Investment Board was the charity that we chose, and they're implementing a pilot program this year. Excuse me, I should clarify. We chose them last year in 2015. They're implementing a pilot program called YouthWorks MKE, in which they're going into the most distressed areas of town and giving children opportunities for long-term mentorship, job skills programs. We really want to take an issue that's you know, plaguing Milwaukee and try and help and put a nice chunk of money toward that program. And we're going to be doing that again this year. We are announcing that charity on the 16th of August. So next week we'll be making a big, exciting announcement that I'm sure will please many, many people.
Alrighty, so we'll just kind of keep everybody on hold, and they need to listen for that particular charity. Now, you receive a huge number of requests from organizations that want to be considered as a charity. What's the criteria for an organization to qualify?
You have to be a 501c3. You have to serve children. You have to be from southeastern Wisconsin. There are a litany of things that we require of our charities, and those can all be found on paysbig.com/Heart of Canal Street.
And so when you get all of these charities that kind of make it known that they want to be considered, how do you go about narrowing that down?
Sure, there's a committee that takes a look at all of those qualifications, takes a look at all of the organizations that apply, and they winnow out the ones that don't quite make it, and then we throw them into a tumbler, and in November, we'll be shaking that tumbler up and choosing 20 additional charities in addition to our charity of choice and our media sponsors charities.
Yes, so it all comes to the 31 in the end, and so that's another surprise for those organizations in November to see who is randomly chosen to receive money from this fundraiser. But then on December 16th, that's when you announce the grand total.
Yeah, that's the culmination of it all, and that's a lot of fun. There's a lot of hugs that night. There's a lot of tears that night, tears of joy, of course. And last year we announced, of course, a little over $1 million that we raised, and that's our goal again this year, to raise over $1 million. And we distribute those checks to those charities, and you know, it's really a nice time of year to do that. It's right around the holidays. Everybody's in bright spirits, and we hope to make them even brighter with this particular program.
It always times out just perfect.
Yeah.
It really does. And of course, everybody can go to paysbig.com/Heart for more details on all of the Heart of Canal Street. It's also important to discuss the other ways that Potawatomi is making a difference in the community. The property has grown, my goodness, with 3 major expansions. And I remember when I first moved here, it was like this little bitty bingo hall, and I took my grandma there when she came to visit. And if I were to bring her back to what it is today, she would probably not believe it's the same place. And so then, of course, that includes the addition of the $150 million hotel.
Yeah.
And that is really good news for the city as a whole, because we're talking about economic development, and we're also talking about jobs.
Yeah, talking about the changes that the property has gone through. You mentioned the bingo hall. That was a 40,000 square foot bingo hall. We are now 1.1 million square feet with the addition of the hotel 2 years ago. You know, we started with about 200 people working at the bingo hall. We now employ about 2,800 people, and these are full-time jobs. These are good jobs, well-paying jobs. You know, a variety of positions available. We're always hiring. We have a diverse base of employees, which we're extremely proud of. Well over 50% of our employees are people of color, and we're very, very proud of that. Again, it goes back to the tribe and giving back to the community and providing sustenance and jobs for people here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and you bring up the diversity, having over 50% of your team, including people of color, but also women as well. So it's really important to know that companies are aware.
Absolutely.
Because that is really what it takes, is being aware and including that inclusion and diversity is everything.
Well, sure. And the Forest County Potawatomi were a marginalized society, and they were the poorest tribe in the state of Wisconsin.
Wow.
So they know what it takes to pull people out of poverty, and it's very important for them to help people of all walks of life.
Yeah, and when you talk about Potawatomi, for some people, they think, I'm not a gambler, so why would I go there, you know? But they need to know, in case they haven't heard, some of the best restaurants in town.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Northern Lights Theater, of course, which is located inside Potawatomi, where you have comedians, singers. You've had some of the biggest names in entertainment come through Potawatomi.
Yeah, that theater is awesome. I've sat 10 feet away from B.B. King. I mean,
I took a picture with B.B. King when he was at Potawatomi. I was like, and then you look back and we've lost, you know, the king of the blues, and those moments are everything.
I know. Don Rickles is coming in this week for 2 nights. I mean, we just have iconic performers gracing that stage all the time. And
all the time.
Yeah, you mentioned the restaurants. We have fantastic restaurants. A Dream Dance Steak. I mean, I've had some of my best dining experiences in my life at Dream Dance Steak, and I'm lucky because I get to entertain people there every once in a while.
That is awesome.
A lot of great amenities, even for people that don't gamble. Even it's for a cocktail after work. We've got great amenities for folks to come in and visit.
Absolutely, and we need to go ahead and reiterate the details of the Heart of Canal Street bingo games going on now through December. Half of the purchases price goes into the Heart of Canal Street Fund, and half goes to the winner of that session's Canal Street game. So again, you can log on to paysbig.com/heart or call 1-800-PAYS-BIG.
Visit the website, learn all about it.
Thank you, Ryan, for coming by. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Audrey.
And I have to say thank you, too, for allowing me to come by and call that first bingo game for Canal Street. So
that was fun, wasn't it?
Always a blast. So thank you again.
Good deal.
Ryan Amundson is the External Communication Manager for Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. For more information on anything that we've discussed today, again, the website is paysbig.com/heart or 1-800-PAYS-BIG. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll turn our focus to a multi-purpose community center that's mission is to support family stability as well as provide educational and recreational programs for youth. And they also happen to be one of the signature charities for Potawatomi's Heart of Canal Street. We'll find out more about the Northcott Neighborhood House right after this.